live off-grid in the mountains of northern Wyoming, and I live in a tiny house on wheels that is named Vanlife, which is Welsh for my nest. This is my next tinier house, work vehicle and general transportation. It's an old Astro van. As you can see, it's got quite a few cosmetic quirks at this point in its life, with a little over 220,000 miles on it. But this is how I get to work. This is what I camp in when I leave my tiny house, as long as I'm not going actually backpacking. And this is what I use as my pickup truck to haul around things like water bottles, gas cans, and propane bottles. And this little rig does a phenomenal job of all of those things, including with all-wheel drive and good all-season tires, driving through any kind of snow I've ever had to deal with in this area. So the front of my vehicle has kind of been left as a regular vehicle cab with 2 seats, but the back has been converted into a camper. Inside here, I've got a couple layers of curtains hanging here, which blocks lights either from the inside leaking out when you're camping, or if you have to park somewhere where there's a lot of parking lot lights, it helps block it coming in. On the inside of the windows, there's also, it just looks like a really dark tint, but it is actually a Velcroed panel that can come off, but is completely opaque, and you can't see anything through that, which is nice for privacy. But there's just a little wood frame built inside here that makes a bed. If I pull up the skirting on it, you can just see it's on 2x4 legs there, built just high enough to hold a little stack of tubs, which keeps a lot of camping gear and general things I might need for either backpacking or road tripping, and lets me store it here safely all the time and not have to have space for it in my tiny house. Plus, I have a bed on top of it. And then there's usually something random like my tripod laying around in case I see a grizzly bear I need it for really quick. As you can see, when you live down a dirt road and off a wood chip covered lane, washing the exterior of your vehicle regularly is probably pointless. But from the back here, you can easily access things without opening all the doors, which is kind of nice. This is just the back end of the bed. Or you can open a single side, which is usually what I do. This side is actually designed so the second mattress that is hidden under here can lay down here, and you can have 2-layered sleeping for 2 different friends who are camping together. And under the back end of the bed frame, if I pull up its skirting, I've got room for extra storage. I keep some extra clothes. If I open this door, you can see my little camping grill. Just a little propane grill, and it's got a burner as well, so if you've got a little pot you want to put on it, you can do that, which is really handy when you're on the road. You can cook just about anything, and it fits perfectly behind that frame. Just sits right there. And I've got it's actually a metal tool chest, so I can set the grill on top of it with no worries about the heat. That holds all my cooking utensils, salt and pepper shakers, plates, bowls. I always have extra napkins and things like that. And again, if you're living off-grid or traveling in remote areas where you may have a flat tire or a dead battery and may have no cell phone service, even if you have AAA, I highly recommend having something like this, which is a little jumper box. You can also plug USB things into it. You can plug regular AC outlet things into it. You can jump 34-foot RV was probably the largest vehicle I ever used this to jump when it was dead. And it's got a little air compressor, so you can maybe make it back at least to cell phone service with a flat tire. People do ask me what I do about getting this vehicle to start in the middle of winter when it's like -35 outside. I do not have a block heater or really the power to keep one plugged in. It works pretty well if you just buy the biggest, most expensive battery with the highest cranking amps on the market and put it in. It'll start every time.
Alexis and Christian here of Tiny House Expedition.
Click on the left or right to see more tiny house tours and stories.
And don't forget to click on our faces to subscribe today.